He's not a bad person. All right. We're not here to judge it. It's just that he has had it and could have it, and maybe that's what he wants. And if you're unwilling to facilitate that, you got to ask yourself if that's an appropriate long-term partner for you. I'm just filmed it'll be an Apex Inner Game is a new channel. It'll be my first video I drop probably within the next few weeks. Just did the filming for it. It's gonna be like a high quality content, high production value, well scripted out video. And in that video, I'm going over 12 signs. So I won't repeat all of these signs here, but what I'm going to talk about is the stages, because you need to know them. All right. And of course, if you have questions, now is the time to ask. I've had a few people drop in. They want to ask questions. They don't have, they're not really able to pay for my time for a full consult. Well, if you catch me here and it's just a simple question, I might be able to answer. All right. But anyway, the super chats help, and that'll help me recognize or answer your question, what you're looking at here. But see, women don't have to share if we don't want to, right? Well, no, of course not. I feel like the red pill and polyamory people are trying to pull the okie dokie. Yeah, you don't have to listen. There's a lot. You don't have to do anything. Okay. But you got to ask yourself, of course, you have to ask yourself, what is the relationship structure you want, but why do you want that? And it's something that's really something worth exploring. And then, are you capable of what you think you want? And I know that sounds like a weird question. Do you have the bargaining power for what you want? So here's a good example. I'll hear like girls who used to bang out threesomes with people all the time. Maybe not all the time. Let's just say a few times. Let's say once or twice. Who cares? In their party years or in whatever. And then they want to have a monogamous relationship with somebody and not have a threesome with the new partner. Well, that poses a problem for that guy. Okay. And that problem is that she shared a part of herself sexually with another partner, whether it was, and I don't care what the excuse is, but it is what happened. She shared another part of herself sexually with someone else in another relationship. And now she's expecting the guy that she wants to supposedly spend the rest of her life with to not experience that with her. And I don't know if you understand the problem that poses for most men. And so maybe a guy would be okay with that. Maybe he wouldn't. I know I wouldn't, quite frankly. I'm not going to be with somebody who's going to share and do things with other people that they won't do with me, or at least be willing to, right? And so that leaves certain things off the table. So then you're left in this conundrum. Do you lie to your partner? Do you lie to yourself? You see what I'm saying? And so this is why your choices matter, and your choices have consequences too. Now, does that mean you have to settle for open polyamory? I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of guys who are going to be maybe okay with that, but not, I say okay with that. They're going to make a choice. We'll put it like that. No guy's really okay with that. There's no dude in a monogamous situation right now. He's going to be real comfortable sitting back knowing, let's say you had threesomes with ex-boyfriend Chad in college, and now you won't do that with your current partner or even explore the idea. There is no guy that will feel comfortable with that. And this is why women, by and large, lie about their past. Not all women, of course, but a lot of them. And then guys don't trust it. You see what I mean? Like, it creates this really divisive scenario. So you can't, go for what you want. There's plenty of dudes, especially in the religious world, who will do monogamy with you, and they're not interested in sharing, having other women around. Okay. That's just internet stuff. And most of these guys, you want to know the truth too. Most of these dudes who talk all this crap online are not capable of having a bunch of women. They're simply just not. They're not calibrated enough. They're not high. Their value is not enough, is not up there enough as a dude, and their game isn't good enough. And if they get them both in the bedroom, they're not going to know what to do with them. So, I mean, that's just reality. I hate to say it. Sorry, dudes, but a lot of you guys are just shit talkers and you're not capable of it. Okay. So, but there are guys who are capable of it, and it depends on your situation. If you're with a guy who's you really want to keep, and this is something he wants, and he's not willing, he doesn't want to compromise it. Why should he compromise that for you? You know, maybe he should, but maybe he shouldn't or doesn't have to. And I guess that's my point. It's you have to look at what it is you want, and is your partner capable of that? Are they going to be happy with that? That's another thing. Are they going to be happy with it? Me personally, I want to be able to satisfy the happiness of my partner. If I'm going to do a long-term relationship, I want to satisfy the happiness, sexual happiness of my partner. So if my partner's like, I'm really into pegging or which I'll never do, okay, despite the rumors. No, I'm just kidding. There's no rumors, but or I'm really into, she's like, I really want a threesome with two dudes. If that's like her thing, and especially if she's done it before, she's probably not going to be in a long-term relationship with me. I don't care how much I like her. Why? Because I know that there is something that sexually triggers her that I will not be able to provide for her or create a situation for her that will fully satisfy that part of her. And so there will be always something missing then in our sexual lives together, no matter how good it is. If she wants, to dominate a guy through some situation, right, that I'm not willing to do, or if she wants multiple guys, which I'm not willing to do, right, at the same time, I don't care how much I like her. That's somebody I can't be with, okay, like for long term, because at some point, she's going to reach a dissatisfaction or point of feeling like she's missing from her sexual life. And then she either has to give it up, which will cause, whether she wants to or not, a struggle and a conflict with her. And she may even resent me for that and for not being willing to do what she fully wants and what's going to make her happy. Or she's going to, make that compromise and feel like she's missing. And it'll start to, and women are very emotionally involved when it comes to sexual stuff, whether they want to admit it or not. So their emotional frame of mind and their past triggering events and what triggers them sexually greatly affects their ability to enjoy the sex they're having with somebody. In other words, like, let's say a girl is into girls and knows that she can be with girls or in threesomes with her current partner. She could be having vanilla missionary sex with this guy and be getting off and feel free for all that, because she knows that her needs, wants, desires can be met with this partner. But let's say she's got she wants that, and this guy is like a religious guy and is not for it, doesn't want another woman around, like is really strictly against it. Believe it or not, there are guys that are strictly against it. Okay. Well, then she's going to maybe not enjoy even that vanilla missionary sex in the same way, because she deep down knows that this guy's not really going to satisfy all of her needs that are in the dark corner of her mind. And so, as a preventative measure for both you men and women, if you can't satisfy or, be the partner that can satisfy every dark corner or facilitate the satisfaction of, we'll say that, every dark corner of this person's sexual makeup, you're going to run into a problem in that relationship. And it won't show up like, no girl's going to break up with a guy because, he wouldn't do a certain type of threesome with me or let me peg him. Like, that's not how she's going to explain the breakup. But what it'll do is it puts a wedge between the sexual bond between the two people. And if she can't resolve or figure out how to remove that wedge for herself, which most do not, most are not even aware of it, that wedge creates more and more of a separation between her and her partner. And then later on, she just finds herself unsatisfied with her partner. And he, of course, may be unsatisfied with her, and it just builds. You know what I'm saying? And so back to that answer, like for this question, it's kind of a long one. I mean, if you're with a dude who insists and wants other women and has been with other women who've been cool with that, good luck keeping him. Really, if that's something he wants and needs occasionally, and you're not, that's some of part of it. And then there's a lot of people are going to hear that and want to shame the guy. Well, he's a bad person for wanting something. Well, he's not a bad person. All right, we're not here to judge it. It's just that he has had it and could have it, and maybe that's what he wants. And if you're unwilling to facilitate that, you got to ask yourself if that's an appropriate long-term partner for you, because there are other guys out there who might be like, even if they've had like the threesome before, or even if they've had, women who've shared them before, they could be like, I've done that. It was good at the time, but really it's not something I need, and I'd be happy to be with you and monogamous and to build a deep relationship and to have, let's say some type of faith. Usually there's a faith or religion that's involved in that kind of monogamy, which is fine, and that's you, and they can do that. So it all boils down to what the person's willing to do. But if you feel like you're having to bully or negotiate them into a type of relationship, that's probably not going to be good then, because at some point that person is going to want what they want, and you're not willing to give or willing to give that to them or facilitate it. It's just going to create a rift between you and them. That being said, though, T Diamond, okay, don't worry about internet speak and weird clubs, weird little man clubs like Red Pill or Manosphere, Man Swamp, whatever you want to call it. Okay, you're getting a parade. You're getting a statistical skew of certain type of guy who talks a certain amount of shit on the internet. Most dudes are not that guy. Okay, so most dudes on the dating market, a lot of dudes will be happy with a chick not having to be with other women. That's the normal. Okay, the normal isn't guys sharing, having 4 and 5 girlfriends. This is not normal. That's talked about in internet space as if it's like the normal thing and it's what all guys want. In some degree, there's evidence, of course, for the instinctual drive towards that. But the reality is it's only a small percentage of guys who can get that and do that. Okay. And so there's lots of dudes who can't do that if they wanted to. And there's lots of guys who could maybe and are okay with not doing that. And so those are the guys you need to find. You know what I mean? Probably the guy who could, but just is okay with not having that sort of a relationship where they're sharing. And I'm not a Bible thrower or anything like that, but check out religious spaces and circles, because that's where those guys are at. You have guys who are strong in their alpha masculine presence, who have a lot of value, who have certain traditional values that might be more in line with what you're looking for. And that's what you want to do. All right. So no, you don't have to compromise it, but you do want to challenge it. Why is that a problem for you? I would challenge it. I'm not saying you have to give up your values, but challenge them.